Good morning. You're watching the Mega-Transect. We're hiking all 2,650 miles while documenting wildlife along the way in a 6-month field season. My name's Professor Michael McGran. I'm here with my wildlife videographer. Just to give you an idea of the crazy angles Jacob's is working with. Jacob Drueckhammer.
What's up, guys?
And we've had we've had quite an eventful stint on the trail. We've had rain.
First rain on the PCT.
But we've also seen an incredible amount of wildlife diversity. In these grasslands, there's probably all kinds of small rodent prey. Sometimes the female will present nesting material to the male, and the male may reject certain nesting material. As we climb up towards Mount San Jacinto. So stick with us to the end of the video to see everything that we've encountered. Jacob's recording a coyote right here. Coyote in these grasslands. Look at that angle on top of this ridge. He's gonna try to go up on this hill and see if we can get a better shot. He's right there. In these grasslands, there's probably all kinds of small rodent prey, perhaps California ground squirrel. There's probably nests of small birds like Western meadowlark. How'd it go?
Let me give you a piece of advice.
Uh-huh.
My piece of advice is don't run into cactus.
Oh, ouch.
It hurts.
Oh,
These things are stuck in me. These big old needles.
Oh, ouch.
So sharp.
Where did you get them?
Right in my leg. And they were just stuck in my leg, and I looked down and I'm like, ow.
Oh, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry.
I should have been paying attention. I was just focused on the coyote. I was like, all right, it's go time. And then,
You're dedicated.
Yeah.
You're dedicated. Ouch, there's some nasty little prickly pears in here.
That was exactly what it was from, prickly pear.
Wow. Well, thanks for your dedication. It'll go away. It stings for a little while. I've done it before,
too. It's already stopped stinging, so we're good.
Jacob's recording horned lark here. As well as Western meadowlark. Two beautiful grassland species. Sometimes they'll sing from a prominent perch to kind of advertise their presence and defend their territory. Than not, they're very low to the ground, hidden in the grass, and they'll even sing in the grass. We're surrounded by Western meadowlarks. There's probably half a dozen individuals around us. And even more horned larks. Western meadowlark has a striking plumage pattern with a yellow and black vest. And hornbillark, striking as well with the black feather tufts on the head. You can see why it's called Eagle Rock. PCT runs right below it. The grasslands in the background. Kind of a cloudy day today, slight chance of rain. All right, let's climb this thing.
I believe in you. Don't fall.
There you are.
I'm gonna go around you. There you go.
Hi there. As we're going through these grasslands to Warner Springs, we were very fortunate to hear a grasshopper sparrow. I've actually never gotten them on my surveys in the past on the PCT. So I was very pleased to see a grasshopper sparrow.
I'm not sure I'm even remotely focused on him.
He's right there, just focus on that rock.
It's covered by stuff.
He's right there.
I know, I'm on him.
Like other grassland species, grasshopper sparrows are secretive and cryptic. They blend in with their environment well. Even their song sounds like an insect or a grasshopper. Unfortunately, we were unable to capture this particular individual singing his insect-like song. They're very shy birds. They stay low to the ground. That's an adaptation because there's not much cover here in the grasslands. And even their song sounds like an insect. So even that's an adaptation to mask their location. It really takes a trained ear to recognize grasshopper sparrow. I've always kind of had my ears tuned for them as I go through grasslands like this. So I was pleased to actually get one here. Neat little find.
I was just thinking, there's absolutely like no way in my life that I would have ever guessed that was a bird that we were hearing.
Yeah, isn't it amazing the things that you see out here with me, Jacob?
And I hear, this bug around me, and it sounds almost like a grasshopper. And then you said it, you're like, there's a grasshopper sparrow. And I'm like, that's a bird? What? Sounded exactly like a bug.
We're on our way down to Warner Springs. Trail takes us next to this beautiful stream after coming out of the chaparral and grasslands. Very refreshing. Jacob's gonna get himself a burrito, I think. Is that
Hopefully.
right?
That's what it said online, so I don't know. They said they're good burritos, that's all I know.
Yeah, at the community center. There's a community center in Warner Springs. So we'll see what they have.
More excited about potential Coke. Beautiful.
Well, they don't serve the homemade burritos until 5 o'clock, and we're here pretty early. But we did find some microwave burritos, which is great. I'll take microwave burritos.
It's
and
something.
Jacob got his Coke.
I got my Coke. Check this out, ready? Oh, doesn't that sound nice?
Got your caffeine for the day.
Cheers.
Here's a group of wild turkeys in here. They seem to be foraging in the understory or underneath the canopy of this live oak. Kind of scraping for acorns is my guess. It's a nutritious food source. Jacob was just recording them from the community center over there where there's a whole bunch of thru-hikers taking a break. Oh, no, that's the PCT. Yeah, see there's an emblem right there.
It's locked, no? Oh, no, it's just
It's just clipped. Can you go through first?
I guess so.
Very healthy population of wild turkeys in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and
Just 1 point.
they are good sized turkeys. The weather's threatening rain, so we're not sure if we will, how far we'll push. We may have to set up camp if it starts raining. Otherwise, we'll try to get about 15 miles in. We've already done about 5-ish, so we'll see how things go.
As the professor stares down these cows, he wonders to himself why they don't move along.
Really bad joke.
I feel some sprinkles.
I'm feeling a few drops of rain. We'll see how things go here.
Nothing crazy. Yeah, so might have to put some backpack covers on. We probably won't need to set up a tent, but I do see the rain. The main worry is we just don't want to get all this electrical gear wet. Not sure if you can see the rain, but it's straight out that way. Right above the professor. This is the rain in the cows. First rain on the PCT.
One of our fears did come true due to the rain. The camera that I used for my narration failed, so we needed to rely on Jacob's phone. Fortunately, Jacob's camera for filming wildlife is more resilient to the rain. And we were able to continue filming even while it was raining. And as we approached the edge of the grasslands surrounding Warner Springs, we entered an oak woodland, and we captured this pair of Western Bluebirds constructing their nest in an oak snag. As you can see here, the female has collected nesting material in her bill. That's the female.
Where's the male?
He's perched right above us. He's bright blue. He's beautiful.
I know.
This particular snag provides several potential cavities for the pair to select. It's as if this snag is a condominium complex, and the pair is selecting which apartment best suits their needs. The male can be particularly choosy. Sometimes the female will begin to nest in certain cavities, but the male may reject the female's choice by blocking the entrance to the cavity, or by rejecting nesting material that the female may place in the cavity. It's as if the male is saying, "No, I'm not committed to this one yet," or "This one doesn't keep the rain out," or "This one is too exposed to predation." Sometimes the female will present nesting material to the male, and the male may reject certain nesting material. Western bluebirds are secondary cavity nesters, and they depend on other species to create the cavities, like woodpeckers, like this Nuttall's woodpecker, which we also observed at this site. Good morning. We had a rainy day yesterday afternoon, and we had a camera malfunction and lost a little bit of our footage. So I'm gonna do a little recap. The chaparral habitat just changes. It becomes a different environment in the rain. All the smells are released after the rain. Very fragrant smells of sagebrush, chamise, and red-shank chaparral. We decided to camp early because we needed to keep our electronic equipment dry, and the rain was starting to come down. So we only did about 10 miles yesterday. Just to give you an idea of the crazy angles Jacobs is working with and trying to film some of these birds in the canopy here. He's filming lesser goldfinch. Not exactly a comfortable angle to film in. He's on the center branch, about 3 feet from the bottom, 4 feet from the bottom, on the right-hand side on the very end of the branch. So lesser goldfinch, they're nomadic. They're not territorial, although they might show some territoriality near their nest. I suspect we're near their nest site because they keep returning to these snags here. So they've been perching on the tops of these snags right here. You can ID lesser goldfinch based on their song because they have this down curved kind of melancholy note. They go pew, pew. And that's distinctive of lesser goldfinch. We're getting a little bit of rain again, so we're gonna put a raincoat on, try to protect our electronic equipment. We had a casualty yesterday. One of our cameras is malfunctioning. So we're gonna be careful this go around and make sure we protect our equipment from the rain. The clouds are pretty threatening and the rain's moving our direction.
So we see these god rays out over the grasslands over there. We were hiking in yesterday. It's really cool.
I think if you look closely, that's actually rain falling.
Oh yeah, actually it might be. And yeah, these clouds are very dramatic today. Very dramatic.
You can see the rain falling over the plains.
You can.
The rain, what is it? The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
I think you're doing too much now.
What?
I said I think you're doing too much.
The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
Oh yeah, that's what they say, isn't it? As pretty as it is, I think that rain might be coming towards us. It's coming this way, so I'm not not too positive that it's gonna miss us. So it is raining and we're about maybe 5.5 miles in today. We got a really slow start with camera problems and other stuff as we mentioned earlier. But nevertheless, it's still a beautiful day. Everything's very green right now, and the low-lying clouds makes for a really neat atmosphere. So we're just gonna keep pushing. We have about maybe 7-ish miles to the next water source.
Black-headed grosbeak here. As we get into the really mature chaparral, it seems that black-headed grosbeaks come in and occupy this habitat. The scrub oak here is so mature that it almost takes a tree growth form, and I think it attracts black-headed grosbeak. Beautiful whistling song, beautiful colors. So we have a little bit of a gap in the weather. Actually, it seems like it's calming down. Allowed us to film that black-headed grosbeak back there. This is a look at where we're at. Clouds are starting to disperse. The storm's losing energy. All these peach-colored granite boulders. Birds are starting to sing again. The birds take shelter in the rain as well when it starts to rain a lot, but they can actually increase their activity if it's just like a drizzle. Their activity actually peaks. But if it's really storming or the rain's coming down or really windy, they take shelter like we probably ought to take shelter. So as we were walking through all these boulders, this boulder-strewn landscape, we heard this beautiful song coming from uphill of the trail. Canyon wren. They have this very distinctive song where it's a descending song. Kind of sounds like they're falling down the canyon, so that's how you remember them. It goes pew 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 pew. That's often used in movies and TV shows as ambience because it just kind of says desert, it says wilderness. They feed in the rock crevices, in the joints, for insects and invertebrates. They have a slightly decurved bill.
So we seem to have an obstacle. Professor is navigating it pretty well. There he is. Looks like he survived.
Yeah. Go for it.
This one's a bit sketchier. Voila!
So it's been kind of a rough, perhaps, or complicated past couple of days. Having to fight the rain, fight the weather while trying to film. Losing one of our cameras to moisture damage. But overall, we've still been very productive today.
Yeah.
Beautiful shot of canyon wren.
Yeah.
Just a lovely shot of canyon wren singing. Good work, Jacob.
Thank you.
We're here at Mike's. He opens up his property to thru-hikers, gives them a place to camp and gives them some water. Mike's not here today, so we didn't get a chance to meet Mike, but we're setting up our tents and we'll stay here for the night and head out in the morning. Please subscribe and stay tuned as we continue this natural history series across all 2,650 miles of the Pacific Crest Trail.